Welcome to the Innate series, the ultimate resource for chiropractors looking to grow, thrive, and align their practice with purpose. In today's episode, we have a preview from one of our previous training summits. In this excerpt of a monthly focal topic lesson on courage, Dr. Shannon McMurtry challenges you to identify what in your life is keeping you from realizing your potential. Let's get started.
You guys ready for a great message? Good. I'm ready to bring you a great message. I've been wanting to talk about this message since January. And I think if we've played our cards right, where we are at our focal points for the year is it's really starting to hit a sweet spot for you. So let me tell some of you who are not aware of what we're doing here. This is the Breakthrough class. This year we're doing something differently in Breakthrough. We're actually recording, right back there, we're recording our monthly focal topics. How many of you are aware that we have monthly focal topics for you this year? Great. We also have weekly topics and weekly detail points for you to engage with. Our monthly focal topics are being recorded in what was Breakthrough class for this year. And last month, we had a recording done by Dr. Zach Wilson on faith. This month, that's this month's recording. The month coming up in June, the one that's being recorded today, is on courage. That is intentional. Now, Dr. Tara is going to take you later today on a journey on expectations. Okay? These things are building on each other. If you have not been aware that we have monthly focused topics, have no fear. They are not going anywhere. They are available to you 24/7. How you would find those is through the AMC Training Material Library, not through the app, through the internet, through more your web browser. And then you would go to the section in that Training Material Library that says, Help Your Office Run Smoother. And then under that Help Your Office Run Smoother tab is a button that you click on it, and it says monthly or focal points. All of our focal points, all of our recordings are being housed and cataloged right there. So if you feel like, wow, I missed out on the first couple, not a big deal. You got plenty of time to play catch up. And the main thing is, whether you do the work or not, I want you to be able to benefit from it. If you're not into this, it's not a big deal. But I want you to get the benefit out of our focal topics. Today's topic is courage. 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 What's courage? What's your thought of courage? When you hear the word courage or somebody who is courageous, what do you think of? What's your imagery? What's that? Oh, she was doing a joke. It takes courage to wear your hair like that, first of all. What do you think of? What's the imagery? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so who is like the textbook example of something of courage or being courageous? Firefighter, there you go. Somebody that has to run into a burning building to save and to protect and to do those things. What's another image that comes up when you think of courage or courageousness? Superman, okay. Anybody else? Anybody else think of a soldier in a battle, on a battlefield? Having to do things that, the bullets are coming at you this way and you're running towards the bullets. That's got to be a level of courage that I hope I never get to experience. Point is, you have certain mental images that come to your mind when you think of the word courage, and they're not wrong. Those mental images are not wrong at all. Before we talk about courage, though, I want to really discuss courage versus bravery. Courage versus bravery. Similar, synonyms of each other, actually. So if you look these up in the thesaurus, you know that book with all the words in it? You're going to see these as synonyms. It means words that basically mean the same thing. But courage, according to the dictionary, strength to endure, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. Courage is strength to endure, persevere, or withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. That's courage. Bravery. Bravery is having or showing strength to face danger, fear, or difficulty. Having or showing strength to face danger, fear, or difficulty. Very, very similar concepts. Bravery and courage can exist together. They can also exist separate from each other. Here's what I want you to think about bravery. Bravery is action. Bravery is like, in some cases, bravery is a reflex. Bravery is a reflex. When they unfortunately do kind of the study of these mass shooting events, like in movie theaters and stuff, what they found is male partners with female significant others will instinctively, reflexively shield their partner when the shooting starts, when the guns start blazing. They don't think about it. It's an instinct, it's a reflex. That's bravery. That's taking action. Instinctual, reflexive. Courage is endurance. Courage is endurance. Courage is actually looking at something and saying, that may suck if I do that thing, but I'm going to do it anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is making a choice in spite of the fear. It's in the face of the fear where you find courage. So all of you folks, and every single one of us have fear. All of you folks who have fear moments, and you say to yourself, well, let me figure out this fear. Let me find out why this fear was planted into me as a child. And let me do all the psychological work and blah, 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 blah. That's a very long, tedious, arduous process. Your results are not certain. But if you'll take courage, you don't need to go through all that psychoanalysis. If you take courage, you're making the decision in spite of the fear. And you can do it, and I can do it, and we all can do it. The reason we're following faith, this month's monthly focus, with courage is this. When you have a fear point, when you have something that is really like, I don't like even the thought of that, you can come to that moment in your life and you can face that with faith. You can face it with a spiritual faith. My God is bigger than that issue. You can face it with a faith in yourself. I have navigated tough waters before. This is not going to stop me. You can take faith in your instruction. AMC says do it this way. I believe them. I'm going to do it that way and let the chips fall where they may. Point is, you're bringing faith to the moment of fear, and guess what fear does? It vanishes. Fear in the presence of faith cannot exist. Like darkness in the presence of light will not exist. If you've ever been in a cave, spelunking, whatever, and they turn off the lights, you're away from the entrance, it's pitch black. You can't see anything. But somebody can light a match, a very small match, hundreds of yards away, and your eye can pick that match out of the darkness. See, when the light shines, the darkness doesn't exist. Where faith is, fear is not. But not all of us have enough faith at every moment. Where faith is lacking, now you take courage. Let me tell you why this is important. Whether you take on your fear with faith and dispel it, or you decide to intentionally move in spite of it, you're doing something very special. You're giving yourself a gift that most people never receive. And that gift is this: your future will never, ever be limited by a fear-based issue once you harness those two factors. Once you have faith and once you can take courage, you have no more fear-based limitations ever again in your future. Hallelujah. There's not a lot of people who can face life that way. Bravery is running into the burning building, firefighter. Courage is going back in again. Bravery is running into the burning building. Courage is going back in again for a second run. That's what courage is. I'm going to decide to do this. This isn't a reflex. It isn't a response because of the situation that's in front of me. I'm not draping my body over my spouse's to protect her. I'm going to do this even though I'm shaking like a leaf. I have no guarantees that if I do this, good things are coming, but I'm doing it anyway. That's courage. Anybody ever heard of a guy named Martin Luther King Jr.? Raise your hand if you heard of Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood up for what he believed in the face of the people in that region of the country saying, no, that is not what we're about. Every single day, he received death threats in the mail, on the phone, rocks and bricks. Like, we want you to die, Martin Luther King. We will kill you if you show up. We are serious. We are going to kill you. Every single day, he dealt with death threats. Have you ever seen a picture of Martin Luther King in a southern town leading a march for civil rights? Is he buried in the crowd? He is out front, center, by himself, typically. There's not like the Secret Service around that guy protecting. He's not being shielded. He's not cowering in the crowd saying, hey, let's move ahead, everybody. If you hear any gunshots, let me know. Out front in the middle. Now, these streets in these southern towns, these streets are maybe 20 feet across, side to side. On the sidewalks, 3, 4, 5 people deep. Some of these people came to praise him. Some of these people came to curse him. You know how long it takes somebody who's packing a pistol to run across the street 10 feet and pull the trigger 2 or 3 times and put it right in your chest? That could happen before anybody could do anything to stop it. But Martin Luther King says what? I have a mission, I have a purpose, I have courage, and I have faith. And he's out there anyway. See, folks, that's courage. That's courage that you and I hopefully will never have to face. But that's true courage. That's legit courage. Let me ask you this. What's your fear? Is your fear somebody killing you? Like, are you really legit afraid if you walk down the street, somebody's going to, because they hate your guts and hate what you stand for, they're going to put some slugs in your belly? Do you fear that? Does anybody go to sleep fearing because they're a chiropractor or a CA that somebody's going to kill them? None of us do, right? So what is our fear? Huh? Rejection. That's a great one. What is your fear? Let me tell you what I find in you. Our most common fear, sadly, our most common fear is what will they think of me. That's why you're afraid to do public speaking. I don't want to get up there and seem like a fool. I don't want to get up there and embarrass myself. Why? Well, what if they think something about me? They already think you're a cuckoo bird. You are a chiropractor. You are a quackaroo. They don't like you. And yet you're going to limit yourself by a fear of what they may think? Who the hell cares what they think? I don't care what they think. You don't like me? It's no skin off my neck. I sleep well at night. I don't have a limitation based on what you might think of me. If I did, I couldn't do this work and do it up to my standards. Because I have to tell people bad news. I have to be the one that tells them what you have chosen to believe your whole life is BS and it's time to grow up and put on your big girl panties. And that's not a nice message for a lot of people. And there are people who don't like that message. And there are people who say, I need a new coach because I can't work with that McMurtry guy. That's life. Doesn't affect my life. You limit yourself because of fear of what other people may think. That is a self-imposed prison. Because the truth is, you're not asking them what they think. You're kind of connecting the dots for them. And even if you ask them, what do you really think about me? You think they're going to give you an honest answer? They might lie to my face. I think you're great. You're the biggest SOB I've ever met. So what good does it do to spend my life limiting myself?
Thank you for joining us on Innate. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. For more resources, mentorship opportunities, and to connect with our community, visit amcfamily.com. Until next time, stay aligned.